Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing wonderfully well. About a week and a half ago we did this. Is the US 7th Fleet vulnerable to Chinese anti-ship strike near Taiwan? It was really good, it was popular, and you guys really enjoyed it. And it had a massive response of 1,130 comments. I've read through as many as I can. A lot of you guys have suggested changes that we should make. As ever, when doing these simulations, there are little tweaks, little errors, little inaccuracies. And so I've compiled a list of things that you guys wanted changing. And let's go and do it. And let's run the fight again, but even bigger and better. Before we go through it in detail, we need to see which of your viewer comments we've addressed. So the main thing that came out of you guys was Chinese DF series long-range anti-ship land-based missiles would be used. So these are massive kind of one-shot long-range land-based Chinese missiles that would be used to attack carrier groups. I agree, they probably would use them, fire them from 500 miles away or whatever, but it's all irrelevant. We don't have them in game and we don't have analogs for them. So yes, probably in real life, in game, we don't have them. Next, I know it's for balance reasons, but the YJ-12s have twice the range you gave them in this scenario. Now, this is really interesting. If you remember, this scenario is based around the very modern YJ-12 Chinese anti-ship missile as fired by these guys here, the Badgers. In-game, I have tried every permutation possible of firing them, and they can only achieve 120, 130 nautical miles. I've done some basic research on the internet, and I agree, it's wrong. It's definitely wrong in-game. I'm going to report it to the developer after this, and it will get fixed, but it will take months to get fixed. It always does. So I'm going to carry on as we've got it in-game, 120, 130 miles. It's annoying, and we're just going to have to figure out some roleplay for it. In fact, there is some possible roleplay for it, because to fire these missiles, I'm pretty sure you're going to need a radar contact. You're going to need to know where the ships are at that point to fire them. And you're probably not going to have that 250, 300 miles away. So it makes sense in a way that they're going to have to get within kind of 100 and something miles away, bearing in mind that it's a surface contact and you've got to worry about Earth's curvature and stuff. So that's our roleplay today. Like I said, there's nothing we can do about it otherwise. Next, the YJ-12 anti-ship missiles are all hitting the first ship. Yep, this is a bug in the game. There's nothing I can do about it. So you've got a big US fleet here. If the missiles get through, all of them always go for the first ship they see, which is stupid, obviously. They wouldn't do that in real life. You know, it'd be pointless making the missiles if they all just went to the first ship and didn't deconflict. So I can't fix that. It's a bug in the core game, and there's, it will get fixed maybe when they see this video, but it will take 6 months or so. So we'll just have to do a bit of roleplay again. We'll see how many missiles get through, and then we'll make a judgment on how many vessels likely would have been hit. Again, it's the best we can do. We've always got restrictions in these simulations. We just have to make the best of it. Next, a US fleet would stay out of range of China. No, not in our roleplay. Remember, in our roleplay, the US 7th Fleet is coming to Taiwan. In our roleplay, they're going into Taiwan to secure Taiwan. So if you do that, if you're within several hundred miles of China, you're within striking range. I mean, even if they're at Okinawa here, or Japan, they're still within striking range, 400 miles. If I'm Admiral of 7th Fleet, I'm not leaving my AWACS naked. I'm putting at least one F-35 escort to each AWACS. Yeah, my apologies. I have to rush these a bit. And last time I forgot to put escorts up for the AWACS that are already airborne, and I fixed that this time. 6. I believe Navy tactics would be for the carrier to change course after launch and sail to a previously determined recovery point. Yeah, absolutely. I've done that now, and they are going to do that. Rather than just flying along or sailing along at a normal course, they are now turning once the battle starts and running away at flank speed as they would in real life. This one's a tough one. 7. If, by the way, valid viewers, I should say this will take quite a long time. There's a lot of data to go over, so please get a coffee or a tea and sit back and enjoy. If this were real attack, wouldn't China strike at the AWACS first? I would have thought that the time to attack would be the J-20s, the stealth planes, struck 10 minutes or so before the main attack was undetectable on radar. Or am I an idiot who's missing something? No, you're a very clever young man or young person. I'd agree. And the reason we haven't been doing that very well is because the Chinese J-20 Mighty Dragon, their stealth plane, their equivalent of the Raptor, if you like, is, I don't want to say buggy, but The AI can't use it properly. They don't really understand what it is, and the AI just flies it like a dogfighter. It's a bit like sending a Spitfire in just to fight things. It doesn't work for what we need. So I found a solution, and we'll go through that in a minute. You're using J10A as J10C. It's a big difference because J10C has better radar system and able to shoot the PL-15. Yeah, I understand that. I wanted to use the J10C, which is a modern Chinese interceptor with more modern sensors and whatnot, but we don't have it. We physically don't have it. So I used the J10A instead, which was not as good. And if you remember last time, the China ended up losing. Well, don't worry. I fixed that. Next, no Type 55, Type 54, Type 52. These are Chinese frigates and destroyers, by the way. Yeah, I agree. This is a surprise strike. You can't do a surprised strike, in modern warfare with ships. They can only go 30 knots, and you will see them coming. Planes coming at 600 knots, you can do a surprise strike. So ships would be spotted way before, and the carrier group would just turn away and sail away at the same speed. So that's why I've not done them here. They can't do a surprise strike. They can do a blocking action. They can do a tactical strike, but not a surprise strike. Also, are the EA-18 Growlers operational in game? Because they would certainly be able to blind some of the Chinese radars. In real life, Growlers would be up there. There's a whole Growler squadron aboard Ronald Reagan. They will be up there. They will be doing their electronic warfare, not modeled in game. Jammers are modeled in game for self-protection. So you can have a jammer on your plane and it will protect you. Area of effect jammers, like a Growler that protect whole battle areas, are not modeled in game. Probably never will be because, well, how are you going to do it? It's all classified. So no. So you will never see any Growlers doing anything. They are here, but they just don't do anything in our simulations. There's not much I can say about that. I'm going to come back to 11 because 11 is a really interesting one. 12, SM3, SM6. So if we did have the DF series long-range missiles, we would also need the SM3, SM6 to intercept those missiles. These are the more modern versions of the missiles fired from the destroyers and cruisers to protect the US battle fleet. They're not modeled in game. I really wish someone would model them, by the way. I'm not smart enough. I can't do it. My boys can't do it. If someone did it, I would love to put them in there. But we're stuck with SM2, and that's just how it is. We used F-35Cs when in reality the 7th Fleet have F-35Bs for the UMSMC, and I fixed that. So that's done. 14. USS America is an LHA/LHD, not a CV. Whoops, my bad. I got confused. I fixed it. F-35s should be murder loadout. I fixed that. Well, I don't know if they would be murder loadout. You tell me, but I fixed that as you wanted it, so we'll do that. Finally, bombers should be covered. So the attack is all based around the Chinese bombers, and they were kind of left out to dry last time with no protection, and they got sniped by AIM-120Ds, so I've done my best to fix that. And coming back to that one we missed, AIM-120D hypersonic. You guys were complaining that the AIM-120Ds were stupidly unrealistic in game. They were going Mark 6, Mark 7, and were just stupid. Completely agreed. We've been working on them over the last couple of weeks with small iterations, and I think we're just about there. And I've set up an example to show you that we're not doing any more cheaty missiles. Stand by. So here we have a test. Here is a Chinese fighter. The Chinese fighter is going to be everything set the same, by the way, same skill level, same altitude, blah, 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 blah. Everything's equal. Here's a Chinese generic fighter. It carries the mighty PL-15. It's their long-range missile that China's using at the moment. And here is the American equivalent. It's a Super Bug, Super Hornet, and it's carrying AIM-120Ds. The PL-15s and the AIM-120Ds are modded missiles that we've had to add in and configure ourselves. Snowy Wolf is responsible for the PL-15. We are responsible for the AIM-120D. Okay, guys? I'm just going to make them fight. They're 90-something miles away. The maximum fireable range of the missiles at the moment is about 100 miles, by the way. After 100 miles, in excellent conditions, the missiles just fall out of the sky. We've configured that based on the mean average of what you guys have said these missiles can fire. I get most of my information from open source and what you guys think. So here they go. What we're trying to get is the best average guess of what these missiles can do. Of course, no one actually knows what they can do in real life. Okay, they are 85 nautical miles at the moment, and they will fire. In fact, I can speed us. Okay, first missile out is the PL-15. Why is it out before the AMRAAM? There's no reason. It's just, you know, luck, a dice roll. Okay, and there is the AMRAAM out at 81 miles. So we can look at the speeds of the missiles. So you can see the speed of the PL-15 down at the bottom left. You can see 2,000 knots and 42,000 feet. You can see my AMRAAMs here at 1,500 and 40,000 feet. Both missiles are now programmed to loft. It's the way they would do it in real life to get the maximum, you know, coverage. PL-15, Snowy Wolves, is now 2,000 knots. My AMRAAM is now 2,000 knots. They'll both max out at about, it depends on so many things, how fast it was fired, how high it's going to loft and stuff. Max about 2,500 knots, maybe a little bit less, 2,300 knots, about Mach 4, thereabouts. Snowy Wolves at 2,100. My one is at 2,300. It's going to go a little faster, but you'll kind of see they'll average each other out. Just take my word for it for now. Bearing in mind that they were fired about the same time. PL maybe 3 seconds before. Ignore what the actual planes are doing. PL-15 is now at 2,000 knots. It's off burn at 60,000 feet. My AMRAAM is now come off burn as well. I'm just going to pause it there at 1,800 knots. They're almost exactly the same speed if you look there. 1,900 knots at halfway point. And the planes have done different things, so you can't take this measurement massively seriously. But 32 nautical miles and 34 nautical miles. What I'm showing here is they're both about fair as we think they should be in real life. There's no more Mach 6ing, there's no more Mach 7ing going on. Ignore the fact this guy's fired 2. It's just whatever. It's just what the AI decided to do in this time. Also, don't worry about if the missile's hit or not. It just depends how well the plane's dodged. So mine is now sustaining about 2,000 knots. I do mine a bit differently to how Snowy Wolf did his. So his is off burn. Mine is still on burn, because I've kind of got a sustainer on it. The real AIM 120D does not have a sustainer on it. I said last time it had a ramjet, and it doesn't, of course. Just getting confused with the Meteor. But you can see overall they're doing about the same. Snowy Wolf is down to 1,400. Mine's down to 1,500. Let them carry on. Snowy's is down to 1,000. Mine's down to 1,300. Mine's got kept a bit more speed up. But remember, mine was fired slightly later as well. Snowy Wolf is down to 900. Mine is down to 1,100, and stop there. Snowy Wolf's final was down to 760. Mine was down to 1,100. Mine sustained a bit more speed, but it's actually quite hard modifying these missiles. It's the best I can do. But I hope you'll see at the end of there, you'll think it's about fair. Both go about 100 miles, as we believe they should do in real life. There's no crazy hypersonic speed anymore. And purely out of interest, let's see if any of them hit. Yep, Chinese hit. Boof, China down. And, oh, the bog dodged. Wherever it is. There it is. You see how he did it. He just did a better notch. Look, 90-degree notch. That's the way it is. So, that is how our missiles are. I'm pretty happy that they're about as realistic because we're going to get them pending, you know, any information coming out. Before we carry on, any questions from my boys about the missiles now?
Nope, looks good.
Mm-hmm. And welcome back to the main briefing. Sorry this is taking so long, but there's a lot of information. So, East China Sea, September 2022. The US 7th Fleet, for roleplay reasons, are going from Okinawa to Taiwan. And China are going to do a big surprise attack and try and sink them. China are attacking with 83 aircraft. Everything here is modeled today, by the way. US have 94 aircraft aboard the 7th Fleet, as they do in real life, and 40 operational aircraft at Okinawa. Let's start with the 7th Fleet here. They're halfway between Okinawa and Taiwan. Here is the heart. It's the CV. It's already turned away by this point, by the way. I don't want them turning in the game because it will actually bug out these planes, and it's best if they're pre-turned. CV is Ronald Reagan. Supercarrier. Aboard her are 72 Super Hornets, Super Bugs as we like to call them. Here they are. Each of the 72 aircraft are equipped with the new, as realistic as I can do them, AIM-120D AMRAAMs. 8 of them. 2 modernised Sidewinders and a bag. They are going to take off and defend the fleet. I should say at this point there are not 72, there are 68, because 4 are already airborne, protecting the AWACS. 2 up here, protecting the AWACS, and 2 up here, protecting the AWACS. Next, USS America, that I thought was a CV, it turns out it's actually an LHA, is here. Here is USS America. It's not actually the right ship, but it's near enough. It's an LHA. Aboard her are 8 F-35Bs. We've got the F-35Bs working again. They are not in stealth configuration. This is very important today. They are in murder configuration. That means fully loaded out with missiles, because that's what you guys wanted. Note, implications are, if you want murder spec, you're no longer stealth. The plane itself is very stealthy. These pylons and missiles are extremely non-stealthy. Okay, so the radar cross-section, this is all modeled, goes up from 0.005 meters squared, stealth, to 0.5 meters squared, not stealth. These are low visibility, but not stealth fighters anymore, and that's how they're going to be modeled. So that's the price you're going to pay for having murder, okay? There are 8 of those aboard USS America. Everything's set to max skill level AI. As well as that, there are the rest of the 20, which is 12, kind of hard to explain, but there's 6 and then another 6 because they're humans. They will get a respawn, so that makes up the entire 20. Murder, Lightning Bees, starting out here, just the same spec. Why do they start off the ship? Because if they start with the AI, they tend to get buggy, and it's just not, worth the stress. So I'm starting them 20 miles out here. They spawn in, the humans, they fly over the ship at low speed and low level, and that simulates them taking off. It's near enough for what we're doing today. They get 2 lives each because that makes the whole 20. Next, Tychos. US 7th Fleet has 3 Tychos protecting her in real life. Tycho. Dumb. Next, 15th Destroyer Squadron. We've got here, there are 8 Arleigh Burke destroyers protecting US 7th Fleet in real life if they're on a full loadout. And here they are, the Arleigh Burke 2As there, and they are protecting, they're staying China side of the fleet, you know, the carriers, as they would in real life. They have 2 AWACSs airborne, E2D. They have 1 squadron in real life, E2D here, E2D here. The detection range of the E2D is here, roughly. That big red circle at 300 nautical miles is a detection range of a fighter-sized target. Go out another 70 miles, you get the detection range of a bomber-sized target. Hence, the bombers are 370, the fighters are starting at 300 at the time when they would be detected. So, what are these new circles? These new circles are 50 miles out. This is the point at which a stealth fighter, on average, gets detected from an AWACS, 40 or 50 miles. And that will come into play, as we'll see later. Next, Okinawa, a bunch of Patriot sites that are going to have no effect. Also, the US Marine Corps at, oh god, I've forgotten, Kadena. I think they're at Kadena. There are 40 stealths. I've had to use A's. I can't get the, you just got to take my word for it. F-35 Bravos. They're going to be in stealth configuration. Why? Because they need the slipperiness. They're going to be too draggy if they come in murder spec. They're going to have 4 AIM-120Ds in stealth configuration, and they will be fully stealthy. The pylons will not be there in the game, and they will take off. And as soon as, you know, the whistle blows, they will go and try and save the fleet. That there, 72 FA-18 Fs, 20 F-35Bs, 8 destroyers, 3 cruisers, 2 CVs, well, 1 CV and an LHA, 2 E-2Ds, and 40 reserve F-35Bs is the 7th Fleet as modeled today. So China are trying their attack again. The last one didn't work. Last time I used, the heart of the attack was the bombers sending the YJ-12s out. We also had a load of 4th gen aircraft, J-20As and J-11s and stuff like that. But it just didn't work. They weren't good enough. The planes just weren't good enough when you're working with Super Hornets, when you're working with F-35. So, as requested, we've upped the ante. And to be honest, China are probably going to win this, but let's see what they've got. The bombers are the same as they were. 10 Badgers, each with 4 missiles. You guys said they can carry 6 missiles in-game. They cannot carry the missiles on these pylons. So 4 each. That's 40 YJ-12 supersonic anti-ship missiles. They start at 370 miles. They have to get within 120 nautical miles of the fleet to fire for the reasons that we've specified at the beginning of this. No, there's nothing we can do about it. Protecting them are an enormous air wing of J-15 Bravos. These are actually pretending to be J-16s. Let me tell you why. The J-16s are more modern fighter and more capable, but in-game it doesn't work. The damage model doesn't work properly, and I just can't get it working. So we're replacing it with a J-15. It's an almost identical looking plane, but it's actually older. And what I've done is I've taken the radar from the J-16, the thing that makes it really good, and put it on the J-15. It can also carry the long-range PL-15 missiles from the J-16. So essentially, they're J-16s as far as the game is concerned. 64 of them. 32 here, 32 there in waves. Note how they're much closer to the bombers this time to protect the bombers rather than just running away, although I can't control them in the actual game. All set to max skill level. Each equipped in murder configuration. This is a one-way mission pretty much because murder configuration means lots of fuel consumption. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 PL-15 long-range air-to-air missiles, 2 medium-range PL-12s, think SD-10, and 2 close-range PL-10, think AIM-9X Block 1s. They are the equivalent of the Super Hornet of the Americans. Note, the Super Hornet does have one thing over these. It can carry the long-range missiles just like this can, but The Super Hornet is slightly stealthy. Well, that's not true. It's low visibility. Radar cross-section of 1.5 meters squared. As modeled in-game here, these guys here are not stealthy at all. No attempt was ever to make them stealthy, and they are 5 meters squared. So just note that is one difference, and it will probably come into play today. All right? And finally, we've got the stealth. Now, the stealths, you remember I said at the beginning, whatever I do, I cannot get the AI to play ball with stealths. They refused to do the things that I asked them to do. Why? But the AI is not smart enough. It doesn't understand what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do with the stealths is to get in ahead, to shoot the AWACS, and AWACS only, and run away. That's what Mighty Dragon here was made for. AI is too dumb. It doesn't understand we're trying to do that, okay? So, I put humans in here. The way this is going to work is humans are going to drive 8 J-20As here. Note how close they start, and that's because they can. They can get within this range without detection. Coming back to these 50-mile circles here, that is the range at which the J-20s will be spotted. As long as they stay outside the range here, the Americans will never know they were there. And the stealth sizes are all according to open source docs, by the way. The way this is going to work is the humans are going to start out as the Chinese in the 8 Mighty Dragons. They're going to try and identify which are the AWACS, and they're going to shoot their long-range PL-15 missiles at the AWACS before they get to these detection zones. Then they're going to bog off. They're going to turn around, they're going to afterburn, and they're going to run back to China as they would do in real life. At that point, they're going to switch into the American F-35s, and then they're American from then on for the next couple of lives. My boys, were you all listening, and did you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Got it.
Just to remember, you guys are pretending to be AWACS killers only. You kill the AWACS at long range, or you launch your missiles at the AWACS only. Don't launch it against the hordes of superbugs. And then turn away and run away. And when I give the cue, you're allowed to then be American. Okay, guys? That's what you'll be doing today. And that's trying to simulate everything as best we can. I hope you'd agreed that we've fixed this as best we can now, within the limits that we've got. It's going to be a mega fight. Which leads us, of course, onto predictions. Guys, for me, I'm the guy that makes these. I'm Game Master, and I make it so that I try and make China win, because that's what Game Master's supposed to do. So I think China is going to absolutely thrash America here. Why? Because they've got proper AWACS killers with humans in command. It's the best you're going to get. Best in class. The bombers are as good as the bombers can be at the moment in-game. Just I can't make them any better. The fighters I've deliberately made as good as I possibly can, and they will be extremely good. You've already seen their missiles are just as good as your missiles, and you've got more or less the same amount, and they're already airborne. Whereas you guys have got to take the entire 7th Fleet off of your carriers, as you would have to in real life. That's a major disadvantage when you've got PL-15s being chucked to you at 100 miles, as you're about to happen. I can't see any way you can win this. However, you do have stealth fighters. Oh, no, you don't. You don't have stealth fighters. You are not stealth fighters. You are murder spec. So you're not even stealthy, guys. You can't even hide. I say America are going to die. Sorry, valued viewers, but this is what was asked for. Predictions, boys.
America.
America always wins.
Murder hornets are not indigenous to North America.
You know what I need to do? I need to create a America button. If it looks like the Chinese are going to win, I'm going to lose all my demonetization, valued viewers. I need this America button where I smack and all the Chinese blow up. How about that? It's like an insurance policy, so I don't get in trouble with the valued viewers, who are 92% American, by the way. Oh, this is going to be worrying. Stand by. And welcome to the battle. Here we go. Untested. Simba. Unpause server Plix. Okay, here we go. This is going to be very interesting. We've got the boys in the Mighty Dragons, humans in the Mighty Dragons. It's the only way to go forward, valued viewers. They're going to shoot the AWACS. Let's go and have a look at all the other guys. Lots of stuff's going to happen very quickly. Let's go and have a look at the lightnings. Oh, wow, all the lightnings are just taken off at once. Not sure they would do that in real life, but they're in a freaking hurry. Wow, that really is some Transformers-S right there. There's the 7th Fleet US Marine Corps. Off you go, boys. I've made some tiny changes since the briefing because not as many humans have turned up as we anticipated actually happens in real life, because they have actual lives. Don't you, Grump? You've got a real life. So I've changed things around a titchy-witchy bit, but it's all fair. Right, Super Hornets flying around blissfully unaware of what's going on. Oh, no, they're not. They're burning. They're burning. What are they burning at? Okay, they've seen the Chinese coming, but not the J-20s, if everything's worked out right. The J-20s are more or less invisible. These guys are not invisible. They are the Chinese Horde, 64 J-15/16s. Extremely potent weapons. We've got the badges. I forgot to say in the briefing, they get an AWACS. KJ-2000. Let's go and have a look at Momosan, which is the supercarrier. USS Ronald Reagan, 72 minus the 4, 68. Super Hornets, Super Bugs, ready to take off. Look at their beautiful AIM-120Ds. Non-hypersonic AIM-120Ds. Here goes our first man. Oof. To freedom. Can America defend the reinforced Chinese attack 2022? I don't know. Let's find out. Right. No Chinese accents, by the way, boys. Or that will mean immediate demonetization. Just fly the dang planes. Remember, your PL-15s will launch at huge distances, guys, and you are not allowed within the detection areas, which you will see on your FDM maps. So shoot the missiles and then go away. I can confirm the mighty dragons have not been spotted. As you can see, these Super Hornets are going a completely different direction. Well, they will be spotted if they go within those semicircles right there.
Got my radar pings.
AWACS are E2D Hawkeyes, which are based aboard the Ronald Reagan. Jesus, look at this giant mess. 64 plus 74 planes in one giant blob. Why are they doing that? Well, it turns out the best way of not getting shot in DCS is to hide in a massive glom like this. It makes...
Box 3.
Oh, here we go. Okay, that's PL-15's out from Killer at 80 miles, 80 nautical miles, and a giant thunderblast of a telegraph pole. PL-15 is airborne.
Simba also has one out.
Now remember, before you get to that detection zone, you must turn around. The Super Box won't spot you, but the E2 Hawkeye will, and then you'll get 72 planes chasing you down. Which would be fun, and I would enjoy it, but that's not what China would do. So let's try and keep it roughly real-ish.
Box 3 times 2.
Right, those missiles will carry on tracking even once you turned around because the displacement of the Hawkeye will be not enough to dodge them. Wow, look out, look at all the F-35s up they go. Are they intercepting? Not intercepting yet. That's interesting. Did not see that coming. Let me quickly check the setup right. Yes, they are. They're all set up to fight. Maybe they're just saving fuel or something. You know when they've seen a baddie because they turn their afterburners on. Oh, we'll just leave that for now, shall we? Right. Killer, you've got just a couple more miles and you have to turn around. And you would have that information in real life on the SA screens. Look at the Super Hornets just go right past them, not even knowing. Distance between fronts of 152 miles. Oof, big ranges today.
Looks like your missiles went to the bugs, Strider.
Strider! Now the bad thing about that is they will kill these bugs, but then these guys will know that there's mighty dragons in the zone, which is why in real life you'd almost certainly just go for the Hawkeye and then run away, because otherwise they know. It's like,
Strider,
you know,
check F10.
Oh, there's not much you can do about it now. Oh, they missed anyway. Did a perfect notch. You got lucky, boys. You notched them.
Strider, no.
Turn around, Strider. Turn around, Strider. Run, run, run. Use your brain. Okay. You'll probably get away with that. I slightly overmodeled those circles anyway.
Box 3 times 2.
All right, boys. You guys better think about turning around pretty much now, getting out, because I want you to fly as the Americans as well and have time to do that. So pretty much, if your missiles hit, they hit. If they don't, they don't. Head west to back to China, and I'll tell you when to respawn as the other guys. Oh, missiles out, PL-15's out, telegraph poles 150 nautical miles from the Chinese. Since when are they that good? Wow, Snowy Wolf. Okay, the China has a massive advantage. I didn't even know about it. They've managed to fire at 113 miles. I've never seen this before. And why is that? Oh, it's because they're at Angels 36. Supersonic speeds. Oof. That's why they can fire those missiles so far. We now have PL-15s in the air at 100 something miles on the first bogs. And those bugs are going to die. One good reason I've just thought, valued viewers, is that they're going to waste all their missiles on 2 super bugs. There are limited missiles here. And they're wasting them all on these super bugs. And that's because these group, they're all in flights, and flights don't talk to each other in DCS. They just, you know, they're independent units. So they're about to waste 100 missiles on 2 super bugs. That's interesting. Okay, first AWACS is about to go down, guys. AWACS is incredibly... Oh no, it's missed. Now that's interesting. I wonder why.
Ran out of battery.
Well, run out of battery, run out of battery.
Nope. I'm showing it's destroyed.
I am too.
Oh, Oh, one. No, you've killed your guy. You've killed your one. It was the boy. It doesn't matter.
Alright, somebody, we need to turn back.
The north one got missed, but that's the way it goes. Everything is modelled here as best we can, guys. Sometimes the missile won't track. Sometimes the plane will notch inadvertently. Sometimes this or that will happen. One AWACS down, but one active. Although you've got more missiles. Guys, when I say go west, it means don't go north or something weird. It means go west. Otherwise, you're not going to get to play the Americans. Okay, an absolute... Oh, whoa, look at these guys. Just TWS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. AIM 120Ds out from the Super Hornet. And there is the power of the Super Hornet. And remember, these are not cheaty missiles. These are all, you know, fair and square missiles. In fact, they've got slightly less range than the PL-15s. Now, this is interesting. Okay, obviously the Super Hornet's going to die. But their missiles will live on.
When do you want us to swap over?
I just want you to do a few miles, so it makes it look like you've made an effort to get away. Shit, the PL-15s aren't tracking. You know what? They're running out of battery. They're fired too far. That's a China problem, sorry. It's all modelled. It looks like the first blood is going to be by the Americans. No battery problem with AIM 120D.
Yeah, and those first Super Hornets are dead.
Yeah, well, you say that. The missiles have all run out of battery and they're not tracking. I've never seen that before, valued humanoids. Again, I have no control over the PL-15s. That's all done by Snowy Wolf, so I can't take any credit or blame for that. No, they're not tracking.
Okay, I'm seeing South AWACS is down.
Well done, China. I'll give you a couple more minutes. Okay, the first super box are dying. Oh, lots of Chinese down for 1, 2 super box. Okay, that's it. You can go now in F-35s, guys. Remember, you've got to pass over your carrier to get airborne. If that makes sense. Off you go. And you're not stealthy. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's a bit laggy, obviously, because there's hundreds of missiles in the air right now. Finally, they made a massive meal of it, but... Oh, God, so many Chinese have died for the one... for the 2 Super Hornets. Why is that? The PL-15s were almost certainly running out of batteries. I saw them just not tracking anymore. Good notch. Sorry, that's a China problem. Like I said, I've got no control over that. And here's the thing.
We're supposed to be Super Hornets.
F-35s.
Yeah, we're F-35s.
Oh, okay. The F-35s are now AMRAMs out. Almost too much to follow here. They're super... Look, they got 36,000 feet. Distance tree fronts. Oh, 60 miles. And oh, God. And remember, they're not stealthy. They're not stealthy, so this PL-15 telegraph poles will hit them. Well, if they don't run out. Jesus, look at that crisscross of madness. Those are all missile trays, valued viewers. No, they're missing. They're running out of batteries. China battery, no good. Yes, I will get demonetized for saying that, but look, there are no batteries. They're not guiding at this point. Isn't that interesting? Is that realistic? Who knows? Oh my god, look at the amount of missiles in here! Do a thing? I've never seen that in my 7 whatever years. I've never seen that before.
Carrier flyby.
Well done, boys. I'm not going to watch because I've got other stuff to watch right now. I mean, there's not much really you can watch, valued viewers. When it gets to this point, it's just... I mean, what do you want to do? Just sit and watch the glory of the modern long-range missile AIM-120D, which will be replaced by the AIM-260, I believe it is, but that's it's half a decade off. Look at this. It's absolutely amazing, valued humanoids. I've never had a fight this cool before.
The server's not happy.
No, you're going to have to suck it up, but planes are dying at a huge rate of knots, guys, and these missiles, you probably have 4 more minutes in the air before these missiles will run out of battery and die. AIM-120D will run out of battery as well, valued viewers, but I've given them enough battery to last for 100 miles exactly, as I believe it should do in real life. Everything's been wiped out. Sorry.
What's up?
Check your missiles.
I have nothing on my pylons.
Yeah, you do. Oh, really?
Yeah, no, there's no missiles on our pylons.
Huh.
And the missiles in my bay are showing unknown.
Because we found...
Test fire.
No, I'm 100% seeing killer with 6 missiles.
Oh. Yeah,
Ignore it.
we have missiles.
It's a graphical bug. It's just graphical bug. Obviously, I couldn't test that, but carry on, guys. They should work. I mean, this is just stupid, isn't it, valued viewers? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of missiles. The question is, who's winning? And the funny thing is, valued humanoids...
I pitbulled a Mad Dog a missile into our friendlies. Just to test.
I'm going to start trying to watch stuff, but it's almost certainly not going to work. Good notch, sir. I mean, who's winning this?
America, obviously.
I just don't know. Kudos to the server to handling this, guys. Each one of these missiles is model, flight model, sensor, fusing. It's all modeled there. The Chinese are winning. The Chinese are winning. It was 50-50 and the Chinese are now winning. I can just tell the amount of units. China best horde. Sorry that it's all 2D and boring, valued viewers, but there's no information to be gained already by watching 3D at the moment. And this is a tactical battle, obviously. Oh, it's dropping out of space on his head. No, it's not. Good notch. Distance between fronts, 15 miles. We're getting a dogfight out of this. This is so freaking cool. You guys are going to enjoy the video. Is any of you guys in combat yet? I know you started way behind.
Simba Fox 3.
There's my boy. Good notch, young man. I can't see any of you guys. Remember, you got a range of about meh. Go for 90 max, so the batteries don't die. Good notch. Oh, PL-15, 70-pound warhead in the face-yo. China's winning. I still think China's winning, or they are running out PL-15s. Only the back markers and... Uh-oh, what's going on here? What's going on here? No, they're too low. No, they're too low. They're not going for the bombers. Server's going to start speeding up now, guys. Super Bog about to get hit. Yep, Super Bog. Good dodge. Have you ever seen anything like this, valued humanoids? Wow, this one's gone to friggin' orbit. Saturn V. We have our first merge of the day. All of that. We've now got a merge. Dogfight. Close range missiles only and guns. Who would have thought it would have happened? Not me. And fight! Look at that. How many missiles have been fired? I don't know. My guess 600, 700? And we've got a proper merge in the middle of it. Let's just watch it now. Problem is they're both supersonic.
Bombers on scope.
Fire, that's your prerogative to fire at them, guys. That's why you're here. You would see them in real life. Missile out. That's an AIM 9X. Look at it bend. Superbug, best dogfighter. Boom! Flanker down. Oh, a trade! In the middle of the 700 missiles, we've got a friggin' Fox 2 trade. Super sexy. And this guy's pushed all the way in. He's going for the bombers. Oh, the PO-10! Where is he? Where is he? Miss! Good flare. And merge. Best fight ever, question mark? The bombers are exposed! The Chinese are running out of ranks. Someone's fired on the bombers. Boom! Boom, boom. Oh, the Chinese are dying. Well done. That's my boys. That's my boys firing, killing now. Look, here my boys. Cannonball. Grump. Killing these last, mopping up these last Chinese. They've run out of men. The 64 J-15s have been destroyed. The Americans, it's now the Americans' turn. Now, what's the range of the bombers? Here's a question. Oh, the bombers didn't make it. They didn't make it. Technically, in real life, they would be able to fire now, but in game, it is what it is. God, you guys did well. Well, I mean the AI really, but...
It was shaking big. Can I help?
Yeah.
One of your E2s survived as well. How about that? Lucky bastard.
Never got within range of it.
American bias.
Yeah, well...
Americans flying Chinese planes. What do you expect?
Right, well, this only ends one way from now, value views. Now, this is completely the opposite way of I thought it would have went. And especially at one point, the Chinese were kicking ass, but... Hey, what are you going to do? And there's not much else I can do, value.
In 4.
I can't make the Chinese much better. I mean, what am I going to give them, 200 planes? I doubt they would even attack with this big up thing.
Oh my god, those F-35s coming in formation.
It's my boys. They're done. They're Winchester. They're out of everything. Back home they go. And
Grump's still 109 out from the bombers.
Roger. First
From the rear
missiles.
flank.
First missiles hitting bombers. Don't know who fired them, but dang, this is cool. What a freaking fight. First Badger down in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Mark. Oof. Amron's got a big old warhead.
Grump Fox 3 times 4.
Man. Now we've got the long-range missiles modded in DCS and working pretty well. It changes the dynamics so much. Anything else in the core game just looks pathetic now. Stuff just getting wiped out at 80 miles. And the boys, that's my boys there. There's missiles from my boys, from Grump, from Cannon. Stuff's about to get jammed. One thing we've learned from this, valued viewers, is always something to learn. It sounds like the Chinese missiles need their battery life extending. So
Oh, just hit a bomber.
Well done. We'll send that to Snowy and see if he can fix it for us. Because when fired at over 90 miles, it looks like they're running out of guidance. Well done, boys. Last bomber's getting smacked in the face.
Fox 3 times 2 and Winchester.
The strangest thing, last time they got to within 120 miles. This time, they didn't even get within 120 miles. I know the ships are moving, but they're not moving very fast. They only got to 160 nautical miles. Why did they do so badly this time? Same everything, same missiles, same everything. But, well, worse, harder, nastier. I think the Americans just did exceptionally well this time. And the American missiles are much worse than they were last time. Last time they were using the stupid, unrealistic ones. Weird how that works. I guess that's why you have to run the simulations, because it's the only way of knowing what's going to happen, you know. I don't think this is maybe even too far off from what America's actually wargaming in real life through simulation. In fact, I've read articles saying that they're wargaming the Taiwan crisis at the moment, and they predicted about 800 aircraft being shot down, which is pretty much similar. What happens at the end of our war games? Just mass loss on both sides. Those planes can kill each other so crazily now.
Oh, another H6 down.
Just a simple member. There's still one. Still one that's got away. Uh-oh.
Got a missile out on it.
This guy ain't getting away.
Oh, that KJ-2000's about to get hit.
It's already dead.
Oh, he's been hit.
Oh, never mind.
He's not in good shape.
Wow, the front of his plane. Where are the pilots?
There is no, they got obliterated. they didn't have a chance to try and bail out.
There's one more bomber still flying. First point goes to it. Oh, wow, friendly fire. No, maybe not. Oh, my boy's done so good. My boy's done so... Oh, the USMC are finally here. All 40 of them. I put them F-35As because I could keep their radar cross-section in full stealth if I did that. Okay, missiles out from Simba on the last H6. Go on, Simba, Wimba, Blimba, Mimba. Finish him. Wow, the first AMRAAMs have entered China. This is fictitious China and about to get a 70-pound warhead in the face. That,
It's a declaration of war.
that's going to start a war, boys.
As if attacking the carrier group wouldn't start a war.
No, that's perfectly fine.
No. It's international, what is it? Diplomatic issues.
Here we go. It's open seas, whatever it's called. Non-stereo
H6
waters.
down.
Well done, Simba. Last kill of the day. Wowee. What a match, guys. Oh, it's about to hit China. Yes, the last ones are hitting China as we speak. I've got to watch this for lols. For the lols. Come on, China. You know we're just joking. And smack.
Joking.
Oh, it disappeared. Huh. How about that? Simba, pause that server, yo. Right, so all of the F-35s took off from the LHA. All of the US Marine Corps were airborne and arriving on target. Oh, no, not all of Ronald Reagan's planes were off. I think, actually, I don't know how many got off. Some of them got off. Probably about 40 got off, I would imagine. Look at that shot there, that's cool. My boys did China and then they did America. Now, it ended, so here's my theory. The killability of the planes now are just so good. They can kill planes so efficiently on both sides. You know what I think won it for the Americans? I've got a theory now. I think the Americans actually won it because they trickled in. They trickled in one at a time. Whereas the China just came in blob. But the problem with blob is they all just whacked all their Chinese AMRAAMs out at once. And then they were slowly running out of AMRAAMs. And inefficiently. And the missiles.
The AI will just shoot all at the same plane.
That's the problem.
So
That's the problem.
You'll have a blob of like 40 PL-15s going at for the same plane.
I mean, it probably kind of would happen in real life as well, because you know how 64 humans deconflict from each other. You've tried firing big servers; it's impossible. So yeah, so the Americans were dying, and the American losses were high, probably 40 shot down, 50 maybe. But every time one died, he took about 10 missiles with him. 20 missiles with him, and then another one came in, another one came in, another one came in. So in a way, the trickle effect actually worked for you. Also, I think the American missiles were working better. Their terminal track was working better, whereas the Chinese, when they were fired really long away, weren't tracking. That's a Snowy Wolf problem, so I'll put that back to him. So that would be my prediction. Let me know what you think, valued viewers. But otherwise, the Chinese was smashed this time. And we didn't have any stealth planes, remember. The only stealth planes were these guys. The F-35As, which came from the island. And they didn't even get a play. So, really interesting stuff. What did you guys see?
Carnage. Death.
Absolute massacre.
Anything else from my boys?
America.
Huh. Well, that's 7th Fleet done to death, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. We've got plenty of other stuff planned, and we'll see you later.